what's going on, friends and family? My name is Skylent, and today we're going to be talking about the Razer Phone. You guys asked for it, here it is, and even if you didn't, I was going to be talking about it. There was rolling internet outages, however, so that's why this video is coming so late. Anyways, we're going to be talking about the specs of the phone, how that's good, how that's bad, literally the hardware, the the exterior, how it looks. We're going to be running through all of it and maybe even talking about Razer as a whole company, because maybe you might call me a fanboy in some ways, because all of my peripherals for all of my computers have been, pretty much always been Razer. I mean, I've been through a lot, but that's the thing, though, is that I've been through a lot, and then I kind of stuck on Razer because it worked. Also, I mean, their products are super popular. They're kind of a game changer in a lot of ways, in a lot of different industries, and it looks like they're trying to do some cool things with phones specifically. Now, I'm actually incredibly surprised that Razer isn't making like a new high-end gaming tablet. But what I'm assuming is that they found the Switch to be too much competition, and then, what the Switch doesn't have a power holdover, the Shield kind of does. So yeah, the Shield's got a hold on me. I love the Shield. I've been playing a lot of Snipers versus Thieves on this. I've been running through a couple of different RPGs, been trying some different MMOs. Right now, I'm trying this action online RPG called Dragon's Project. I'm playing a lot of different games here. I'm enjoying the crap out of this stuff. And it's a cool device, and it's so relevant here because it looks like what Razer's doing is like, hey, the Switch, I kind of like that design, but the Nvidia Shield, now that is some hype. Let's take the Nvidia Shield design and let's just make it a phone, and then let's add on and maybe take away some features here. So, am I going to trust the Razer Phone to be a quality product? Yes, I will. Some people have had hit or miss production quality with some of their devices that I've heard on the internet. I feel like that's any business ever, especially one as popular as Razer. That's probably why you might hear stuff like that more often. But if you actually just look at what professionals and, like CSGO or Overwatch or just any game period, you can actually look at the gear that they use. And a lot of them use, of course, a few brands, but Razer is one of the most notable. I myself have the Black Widow Tournament Edition keyboard, as well as Death Adder for the mouse. The Death Adder is just, I just freaking love it. I've been through 3 Death Adders because, dude, I do this every day. I play games every single day. And I'll tell you, the newest edition is the most stable, and it is just the sexiest. I suggest actually getting the Chroma, or the very newest one. It has a really nice grip on the side. So yeah, I do like my Razer mouse and keyboards. They have been the most sturdy over everything that I've had, from the lowest of the low being like Mad Cats. Logitech also has a nice range of in-betweens, but Razer to me is quality, and it's good. And honestly, the pricing is fair on a lot of their products, especially like the Tournament Edition for the Black Widow. Get it on sale sometimes. The Death Adders consistently on sale. You might even get some older ones. It's all good stuff, right? Some of it maybe is superfluous a little bit, and you might debate this phone, but I just will say immediately, if you're in this video to just shit on Razer, honestly, you kind of can't. You can't just shit on Razer as a whole. Maybe one product or two. I'm not going to just completely fanboy, but legitimately, there's a reason why it is so popular, not just because of RGB, but in the professional scene. And it is a reason why people so consistently do recommend it and actually look for sponsorships. Wink, wink, Razer. Anyways, so we're going to be talking about the phone here. I want to want this phone. I want to like this phone, and I do want this phone. But of course, like, if any of these stats and figures that they're kind of promoting turns out to not be true, like if it's not true to life, then I'm not going to get it. However, I am in the process of trying to reserve a copy. I would like to do that. That'd be nice. Or maybe if I can get a review. Anyways, so I think that if this is as it is advertised, it's going to be freaking cool, even for average people. And of course, you're going to allow me to elaborate on that, correct? But we need to go through all of this. We need to dissect this whole thing, and I will tell you how it's relevant to you, and I will sell this phone to you as I'm trying to sell it to myself. Again, if this stuff isn't quite true, like if the battery isn't as good as they say, if the screen's not as good as they, stuff like that, then obviously it's not worth getting. But if they actually live up to the hype that they've laid out, with numbers here. So if they don't meet these numbers, then we can all just shit on it, right? And we can just shit on Razer then. But this phone is actually, in my opinion, 1, innovative, 2, taking really good inspiration from a product I already freaking love. And at the same time, it doesn't quite replace the product in a way. I mean, maybe a little bit. Tablet, the big screen definitely still helps with gaming, obviously. But it's doing something new in the truly mobile sector. And it's also going to be pretty good for specifically VR gaming. So yes, this is a gaming phone. Immediately, will this be good for certain apps? Yes, very specific apps. It will be amazing for those. But that's probably going to be like a literal handful of apps. However, that's just current apps. Phones are some of the most innovative like platforms ever when it comes to software. You have no idea what apps could be invented and what tools they can use on different phones. For instance, I had no idea that my iPad could be used for, I could actually turn it into, I was at a kiosk working, selling sunglasses as a cash register. Boom, right there. Hey, you want some sunglasses? Okay, here, let me take that card, swipe it on this little thing, do the little appy thing. Boom, process. Thanks so much. So, I mean, that's just one thing that blew my mind a couple years ago. So, I mean, like, there's so much that you can do, and who knows what this phone might be used for. Okay, so we'll just put that out there. That's kind of that is kind of biased and kind of fanboy, I'll admit it, but it's kind of true at the same time. You don't know what it could be used for, especially the first thing. Immediately, the selling point is the 120 hertz ultra motion screen. I'm kind of worried about that ultra motion for 120 hertz, but we'll talk about that. This is going to be VR. 100%, 102% VR. If you want a gaming phone and you have Google Cardboard or whatever, dude, slap this thing in. My dudes, my friends, you are going to have a good time. The one thing that's really limiting me from enjoying VR is going to be my Galaxy S7 Edge's. It kind of has like this weird meshy look whenever I look at the screen, even though it's pretty high resolution. And the screen on the Razer is also pretty good, decent. But the frame rate is really what kind of gets me. And also the phone overheats like hell. Now, apparently, with the 120 hertz ultra motion screen, Razer also, because, you know, it's freaking 120 hertz on a phone, they also have special cooling. It's really super vague and everything. Again, if this just constantly overheats and you can't really play stuff at 120 hertz, especially VR, then what's the point? It's going to completely drop, you know, the point. So then we're going to drop the phone. We're not going to talk about it anymore. But 120 hertz is actually not just a simple gimmick. 120 hertz, if you don't even VR, which you should be if you get this phone, or if you have a phone, period, you should get a Google Cardboard and you really should try VR. Like, just shut up and do it. But anyways, even if you don't do that, 120 hertz, this is adaptive. That's why it's called Ultra Motion TM. It's adaptive frame rate. So this is going to make everything just look so much smoother. And some people say, like, what's the point? Well, you're buying into 4K, aren't you? You know, 4K TVs and stuff like that. You bought into like they had like they'll have like special motion TM stuff below. I know I used to work at Target, so it would say stuff like that. You know, oh, this has like this software that makes things look a little bit smoother and things. And sometimes it kind of works. It just makes things look blurry as hell sometimes. So that's kind of what I'm worried about, is that it does have adaptive hertz with a frame rate, which is great. You know, that's cool. So it doesn't overheat constantly, even though it has a special, you know, cooling, whatever mechanics. But it's not going to drain your battery as bad either. And at the same time, it should work and make everything super smooth. You know, whatever the app, if the app is locked at a frame rate, which a lot of the games are because they don't want your phones overheating. But if it's locked, if it's not, if you're going from menu to menu, it's going to make your browsing experience so much smoother. I just recently got a 144 hertz monitor. Guys, if you've never experienced over 60 FPS, it'll blow your mind. It'll feel real good like. It truly will. You need to do it. Now, do you need it on phones? That's probably the debate. I don't think you need it on phones right now. But again, that's the thing. Phone technology and phone software is evolving faster than like anything. And I can say that as somebody who actually reviews these games and previews these games and show these games off. And, you know, I like playing with a lot of these different tooly apps. You know, I think they're pretty interesting. I'm thinking about maybe making one myself. But I really play with these. I really enjoy the mobile device scene, and a lot of people just shit on it. And I think that the future, you know, with 120 hertz, we could do some cool stuff. Now, whether that exists right now, honestly, Razer didn't show off too many games that might use it. They have Arena of Valor. They have Final Fantasy 15, surprisingly, showcasing it. So I don't know what's up with that. But anyways, a few games will probably take, use of this. I think most games, overwhelmingly so, will not. But still, the overall browsing experience should be smoother. However, again, if it's like adaptive hertz, it might be blurry. It might not be true 120 hertz, because I know a lot of TVs did that bullshittery. It might not be true 120 hertz. So that's going to be the first thing. The first gimmick, the first reason why you might get this phone, especially for VR, is 120 hertz. But if it looks really blurry, and if it's not true 120 hertz, I don't know. Maybe it's not going to work. And maybe it's not going to work because already VR kind of is kind of a little bit blurry because you're so close to the screen, you know, pixel density when you're actually that close. But just for normal gaming, it could work. It could really work. It could be amazing. I don't know, man. It could be fantastic. I'm going to have to get my hands on it. So yeah, Razer, if you want to send a product my way, I would love to review it. I would absolutely put it to the test. No contest. So anyways, that's the big gimmick. And it could just be a gimmick. It could not even be a true gimmick. So keep that in mind, but I'm going to keep my hype alive. I will say that. So moving on, the actual form factor is going to be very relevant to the speakers here. It looks very much like an Nvidia Shield. So the form factor is basically an Nvidia Shield turned into a phone. The Dolby Atmos and THX certified audio is probably not just some random fluff. Some of you guys might think that you might have some phones that have decent speakers, or you might have a Galaxy S7 Edge and you're like, whatever. Trust me, guys, if you actually have a proper tablet with front-facing speakers like the Nvidia Shield, it'll really make the difference. I seriously sometimes will carry my Nvidia Shield, as awkward as it is, even though it is a little bit slimmer. It can actually fit in a pocket, but still awkward. I do take it sometimes to places with me, like malls and things. And, you know, whenever I'm eating, I'll prop this thing up and we can watch some YouTubes. You know, we can have some fun. We can watch some streams, or we can watch a lot of cool stuff, and people can actually hear it with me. Other people can actually hear it with me. So if you have a media device and you actually have a lot of friends and you're very social and you're going out in the city and you're going out to the mall, which is, this is really what this lifestyle is promoting, mobile gaming that is, then you're going to want front-facing speakers. And if you don't have that, you're really missing out. Of course, alternatively, you might say, well, Sky, my dude, my friend, I could just plug in, some earbuds, right? I mean, sometimes it's even better. I can just go into the store with my Audio Technicas, right? I could just be jamming, hanging out. That's cool. You could do that, but not on this phone. You see, this phone, even though mobile devices are personal devices, it does have front-facing speakers. That's cool. That's great. But it doesn't have an audio jack. So this is a big thing. As a personal gaming device, I know for my Nvidia Shield, the first thing I did for my Nvidia Shield was I plugged in my Audio Technicas and I jammed. So that, when you're playing RPGs or you're playing games, you might want to be immersed. Even if it is a mobile game, there are some immersive mobile games, especially VR games, like I said, was a big selling point. You would want to plug in whatever headset you have, your super good headset, right? So my Audio Technicas and stuff like that. And you're not just gonna be able to plug and play. You're probably gonna have to get some dongle or whatever to be able to use it. And that kind of sucks. Now you should be able to actually use the Razer earbuds, and they kind of look sexy, and I'll probably pick those up as well. But just not being able to plug and play for a gaming phone is kind of something that people are going to scoff at. And that's why I'm kind of using this tonality. Even though we kind of started this video with a little bit of fanboyism, that's kind of something that feels weird to me. So yeah, immediately, somebody's not going to be able to, if I didn't bring my earbuds or whatever, somebody's not going to be like, oh, can we watch this movie together? I'll plug in my earbuds. We'll share. We're not going to, you won't be able to just do that. You won't be able to just do that. You're going to have to carry around a dongle or something. But if they make a case that has I don't know. I'm trying to think of things they could add on and sell to us that would make it more comfortable to use. But frankly, I don't know if it should be needed or not. I just don't. If you look at the form factor, it looks like there should be room for it. But this is kind of a trend for a lot of new phones. I'm not sure why. Maybe it is good. Maybe I'm just really freaking ignorant. If somebody could explain it to me, please, I would love to know. But it doesn't have it, and that's going to mess with a lot of people. I guess it doesn't matter to me because my Audio Technicas are broken anyways. So yeah, donation link in the comments below. Anyways, so we're going to be moving on through the other specs here for those who are nerdy enough to care. Oh, by the way, what is powering, right? What is actually powering this beast of a phone? Well, basically, it's going to be the Qualcomm Snapdragon 835 with 8 gigabytes of RAM. Decent, right? Decent. It should be. It's a modern processor for phones. But, it's like other phones have stuff like this too. Other tablets probably, right, too. It's not something extra. Oh my Jesus. It's just, yeah. It's good. I mean, it's good. It's not bad. It's great, maybe even, but it's not like something holy moly new. Something out of the park that's like, oh, why don't other phones have 120 hertz screens? And no, that's kind of what's making me a little bit worried that this 120 hertz isn't going to be true full 120 hertz. Yeah, if you're worried about the sacrifice for pixel density, actually we have, the display is going to be 5.7 inches. It is IGZO, specifically LCD, and it is 1,440 pixels by 2,560 pixels. 120 hertz, wide color gamut, apparently, and Corning Gorilla Glass 3. So all in all, sounds pretty good to me. Pretty decent. Now, the pixel density might get a little bit weird if you are trying to play with VR. I think it's probably good. I think it's probably decent, but it depends on like how exactly the screen looks. Because I know from my Galaxy S7 Edge there is a weird like look and texture to the VR. I'm not really sure how to describe it, and I'm not sure if you're going to have that experience with other phones. But I know with that phone specifically, there is a weird kind of meshy look to it. But maybe it's going to be just fine. 120 hertz VR. I'm really freaking excited for that. I cannot wait to actually try that. Anyways, guys, so that's going to be basically like the meat and taters of the phone. But other than that, you know, storage is internally is going to be 64 gigabytes. But it should be mentioned, actually, that you do have external memory that you can actually slap in there. Micro SD, 2 terabytes max. You make sure you get a fast speed SD, you know, because you are going to be doing high-end gaming, storing, you know, that, I don't know, is VR footage, does that take advantage of high-speed SD? Do you really need it, you know, for the downloaded VR videos that you might be watching late at night? I don't know, but anyways, might want to get that. So it's pretty good. External micro SD for a gaming freaking phone. Oh my God, yes. If it didn't have that, I swear, no, we wouldn't even be talking about it. So I guess storage, yeah, is super important. Now, yes, you can expand. You will need to expand. Get a high speed micro SD, please, and thank you. Anyways, other than that, that's going to be the main content. We're going to be continuing on about what this phone also has to offer, because frankly, some of these other features kind of got me excited a little bit, but we have to see it in action. But the reason I even got my Galaxy S7 Edge wasn't because of the Edge gimmick, and it really wasn't because of anything. There was no other reason other than it had the best in-class camera and pretty good audio recording, so I could, you know, do vlogs and stuff like that and stream out in the world. I got it just for that reason, and I took pretty good advantage of that, though nobody watched those vlogs or videos when I went to Replay FX, the arcade convention, but it's okay. We got more conventions coming up, especially now that we just moved to Dallas. We got more stuff coming up for that. But I would love it if the Razer phone had really good recording as well, took really good pictures, and had a really good mic as well, so I could do live streaming and, you know, just really put that content out to you guys. That's what I really want. So we're going to be going into that sort of nerd stuff there, and if that doesn't interest you, you can probably close off now. I'm going to give my Razer phone a thumbs up, but let's keep going on with more extra stuff. So the rear cameras, guys. Cameras. We have 2 here. I don't know really why that's got to be so impact. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know that gimmick. I guess it allows you to take really freaking good pictures. I don't know about video or anything, but for me, video is really where it's at. Regardless, let's go ahead through the specs. We have one camera that's 12 megapixels, AF f1.75 wide, 13 megapixels, AF f2.6 with a zoom, dual PDAF, dual tone, dual LED flash. I'm going to be honest. I don't know how all of this actually relates. Now, of course, I took digital communications classes in high school. Sure, you know, some Photoshop, and, you know, we got some cool cameras, and we learned about all that cool stuff. Sure. But I'm going to be honest. On a phone, I don't know if I don't know how important it is to me. How important is it to you that you can immediately take instantaneous, really amazing photos? That's going to be up to you. For me, I'm more of a video guy. I don't know how these cameras are going to operate with that, but I do know a lot of people. I mean, everyone has phones, and people do like taking pictures, you know, recording your life, sharing it on Instagram. Sure. This is probably going to be a good way to just instantaneously, boom, Snapchat, best Snapchat you've ever seen, baby. So maybe. You also have an extra camera. You have a front camera, 8 megapixels FF at f2.0. So basically 3 cameras kind of on this phone, which is kind of ridiculous, but maybe it works. Again, I don't really know. That's a little bit extra, and that might be a little bit more targeted towards some people. But then again, iPhones are specifically bought actually for a lot of their camera apps. Like, it's pretty weird, and you get special lenses attached to the iPhone, and you can actually make you can literally be a professional photographer with a smartphone, especially an iPhone. But I would also say, like, you know, I don't know, the Galaxy S7 Edge has a pretty freaking good camera, so it's just kind of harder to find attachments for it. But anyways, so the Razer phone actually looks like it could be pretty easy to make attachments. I think Razer might be interested in that, you know, market there. Maybe adding on like extra lenses you can attach. It's a pretty simple form factor, isn't it? Add extra lenses, of course, probably more audio equipment, Bluetooth speakers, and I don't know. They could, you know, RGB speakers. Why not, dude? Razer, holy crap. They could do that. I think so, but I don't know. How could you make an attachment with dual rear cameras? Maybe, I don't know. In the end, that's still really specific. So if you guys want to know the battery, which is going to be powering all this majesticness, it's going to be a 4,000 mAh lithium ion battery. Cool, I guess. But in the end, also it has quick charge, 4+ apparently. So that's good. Apparently, like I don't know how good this actually is. Like how intensive is 120 hertz on a mobile device? I don't think many people have experience with that. How intense is this phone going to be running? You know, some I guess just mobile devices period have like similar battery sizes, but they still don't run as efficiently. So I mean, we're gonna have to see. Really, we just have no idea. So hey, there's a number, but what that actually translates to, I don't think anybody actually really knows. You have to actually get it and then run it. Ugh. So yeah. Anyways, guys, if you guys want the specific sizes and measurements and everything, I got a link to the page actually in the description there. You can go look at that if you really want to geek out and know every little thing about it, and also see the marketing and everything. Really trying to see what they're promoting: Arena of Valor, Final Fantasy 15 for some freaking weird reason. But anyways, it looks pretty neat, guys. Right? It seems neat. But what's the price tag? We don't know yet. I think. I don't think anybody has that. Maybe some publication has it, but basically it's probably going to be freaking expensive, and it's not going to be for everyone. But is it going to be for me? I think maybe. It might be if the camera is super good, if the mic is super good, and that's pretty much all that I need as somebody who wants to do live streaming. That I think that's going to be really kind of key there. I'm going to really probably like that. But again, the fact that it doesn't have a port easily accessible. I don't know. I guess I can get a dongle and then maybe I can have an external mic attached to the dongle and I might be able to have a setup here still. It's just going to be a little bit more awkward. I might not enjoy that. I don't know. So obviously this is going to be something that's kind of targeted still. I don't think just to gamers though. I think it's actually going to be targeted maybe to non-gamers, people who really want to capture video, hopefully take really good pictures and have a really smooth and sexy, you know, browsing internet experience. But obviously gaming as well in VR. I think this actually is a little bit more wide stretching than some people think, but it's still more targeted than basically almost any other mobile phone in some ways. So if you already have a modern phone, I don't know if you're going to just be jumping on this. Like if you just got like, you know, the new phones this generation, you're probably not going to get this. But by the time this rolls out, if you've had like a last generation phone or maybe no smartphone, maybe you're just coming up in the world and you want to get your first smartphone, I think that this might actually be a really good phone to snag. I'm going to have to get it in my hands. I'm going to have to listen to it. I'm going to have to play it. Of course, I'm going to have to do my review. But my overall pre-impressions is that this is actually a lot less gimmicky than a lot of other stuff that we saw previously, you know, being kind of like tested by Razer, like the modular PC, you know, some other weird stuff, RGB mouse pads. It's not as gimmicky as that, actually. And I think this could be put to some real use by at least somebody like me. And I think people like me are coming up in the world. You know, there's more people that are vlogging and getting out in the world and sharing and being more social, you know, living in cities, having that urban experience. And I think this phone is targeting that, which is actually similar to the Switch, just in form factor. Really more like the Nvidia Shield, but form factor. Anyways, so I think it's cool. I think it's sexy in ways. I would probably snag the green case because I like to be a little bit more flashy. I will be getting the Hammerhead BT. And unless this phone, just like, you know, the people who get the phones early, I would love to get one, by the way, Razer. But if people who get it early and say that it's just absolute garbage, then obviously I won't get it. But otherwise, I'm probably going to get it. So look forward to that review in the future. And yes, guys, we're going to be doing a lot of hardware reviews in the future. I've already kind of tested the waters with a monitor video, but we got more. Definitely don't worry, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoy that. But anyways, this is my big rant on the Razer phone. Hopefully you kind of got the gist here, but I just kind of want to end cap here by saying Razer as a whole, guys, they've consistently taken ideas from other companies and they stole ideas basically by making it their own. You know, the MacBook, now we have the Razer Blade Stealth and Razer Blade series, and that's amazing. You know, it's basically every YouTuber's daily driver. We have the Razer mouse and keyboard, prolifically used in professional esports, and I use it myself and all my computers for the longest time, actually. And a lot of peripherals and stuff by Razer is gimmicky and silly and kind of cheesy, but nowhere near as cheesy as a lot of other companies. And at the same time, they're the ones that set the kind of the standard, and they set the trend. So as much as like you might say they steal ideas, they steal good ideas, and they actually make good products generally. And they might not be for everybody, but they make a lot of cool stuff. And I think that's uncontested. So I don't know if you'd call me a fanboy. I really don't like being that. I can be really critical too, and expect some criticalness when I actually get this phone and when I do my gear reviews on some Razer stuffs here pretty soon. But I think that in the end, I'm gonna have to give Razer as a whole, you know, kind of a thumbs up. It's some good stuff. You know, they're industry standards, and they're pretty innovative for as much as they take ideas. They take good ideas and they put them together and make good stuff. That's my opinion. That's all. Not going to reiterate that 3 more times, but thanks for watching, guys. This is my full enclosed thoughts so far on the Razer Phone. Won't need to make another video until I get it in my hands. But if you do want to see actually more reviews on gear, Razer, Corsair, otherwise, I don't know, who knows, then let me know actually in the comments below what you want to see reviewed, mouses, keyboards, stuff like that. I'm actually game to do that. We actually have a studio space here so that we can do that. So please and thank you guys. Share the video. Much love. And, I do need a headset, so I'm freaking Patreon. And I will see you again next time.